Welcome to our food value chain lecture. This is a very recent topic and you may have heard different ways of naming it, from farm to fork, producer to consumer, from the field to the table. Actually, we can also call it supply chain, but we prefer the term food value chain because it's broader and it seems it has many other activities going on. And what is this topic about? Well, as you can see in the slide, we're going to learn about the overall meaning of the chain, the different flows that appear, and how important sustainability is for its efficiency and its performance. So let's start. Food value chain is the new scenario of innovation and research. In the last decades, changes in production methods, development of big cities and urbanization processes, also even the globalization, all this has affected to the food value chain, and we see that sustainability is not always present. While technology has been increasing the food sector and it has really been improving, socioeconomic and management research is behind. All these issues are far behind since not as much innovation is being carried out. So this globalization process needs instruments to compare international experiences. Food value chains can be as long or as short as you can imagine. You can see it in this slide. They can be simple or they can be very complex. The shortest ones are those which go directly from producer to consumer. You can see them on your left. No agents, no intermediaries, just these two links, producer and consumer. This is common in fresh produce. Sometimes consumers are welcome to pick their own vegetables or fruits in the fields. They weigh them and they pay the producer. However, this cannot be made globally. It's not so easy to organize and it's not very efficient in big cities or in isolated locations with no productive fields around. So take a look at the food value chain on your right-hand side. It's a need for a longer food chain, one that includes several links with processing, logistics, stocks, distribution agents, etc. And depending on the type of products, its complexity and or even its origin, sometimes this is the only way to reach the consumer. Of course, very perishable food products cannot have a long chain just because of the nature of the produce. But we can find some food chains which may have even 6 or 7 links between producer and consumers, not counting that we don't think about the suppliers, which would be before producers. We're just starting with the producer and we're finishing at the consumer. As general characteristics of the food chain, we have to consider it is a network of activities and facilities. What do these facilities include? Well, they include the inventory of raw materials, all work in process, materials needed for transformation, for example, in a very long food chain, and also finished goods. The aim of the food chain is to create value and to have an equal share of value among the different links. This value has to be adequately divided along the chain, so all links get a fair value of their inputs and work. The management of the food chain is not easy. It is a key issue and it needs planning. If the planning and the performance are well organized, the value will be shared and the whole chain will be sustainable and efficient. All the links will benefit from sharing the value along the food value chain. In all food value chain, there are several basic flows. Just take a look at the following slides. Here you see 3 flows: the information flow, the goods and service flow, and the financial flow. Let's start from the beginning. The first flow is the one which refers to goods and services. These products go from producer or suppliers to consumer. We have seen can be long or short, but this always exists. Production to consumer. Sometimes we consider the suppliers, sometimes we do not consider them. This is the first flow. The second basic flow is the money, the financial flow, the cash flow, you name it. And this one goes the other way. It starts in the consumers. It goes from consumers to producers, or also, depending on the case, to suppliers. Consumers pay for the goods and services, and the money goes back to producers. And then we have a third flow. This third flow is different. This is the information flow. And why is it different? Because it goes both ways. Take a look at it. From producer to consumer, and from consumer to producer. It is a basic flow, and it has to work on both ways. With the technologies and innovative communication era, everybody understands that consumers are interested in the origin of their products. They want to know about what they eat, the production methods, the origin, etc. But producers and also the rest of the agents need to know the preferences of consumers. They not only need to get paid, they also need to know what consumers like or dislike, when they want to consume, if they like the flavor, the size, the packaging, if the venues where they offer the products are convenient, and many, many other issues. And they may also offer added value, such as recipes on how to cook, best time to consume it, different varieties. Both ends need to be connected through information. If information works, the chain is much more efficient and sustainable. It is a win-win situation. When we analyze a particular food chain, we need to consider the existing links, the agents that take part in the food chain. So who or which are the links? Another question is to know how each process works. It is not the same to analyze a simple transporting agent that one that needs a certain temperature or processing a product with perishable ingredients or delicate characteristics. So each link needs to be studied in depth in order to point out the key indicators of each transaction. It is also crucial to know the demand of the product so you can offer what they are expecting. The relationships between the links of a supply chain are very, very complex. And also, the longer the chain, the harder for information to flow correctly. We've seen there are long and short ones. Well, the longer the chain, the more links they have, it is harder to get the information from one link to the other one. So these are few ideas that you have to understand from this short e-learning course, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much.